Hi, I'm Damien Gallagher, the very proud Mayor of Murrindindi Shire Council. I'm here with you this evening from Alexandra to share a report on the Longwood Fire Event, which is impacting the community of Murrindindi Shire Council. It's 6:30 p.m. on Sunday evening, and I know that all of our community has been variously impacted either directly by fire or loss of water, utility services, loss of TV or telecommunications, and everybody is challenged at this particular point. We've had a huge few days, and none tougher than what we've dealt with. It doesn't get any harder than what the community has faced in Murrindindi these last few days. I really need to acknowledge the wonderful work of our volunteer community emergency services, the CFA, the SES, Forest Fire Management Victoria and their staff, Ambulance Victoria and Victoria Police, just general community members looking after their neighbours, making sure that stock are fenced, that pets are fed, that the community members have somebody a shoulder to lean on, and that they have the food and the service that they can possibly be provided. It's about looking after one another. We can't get through an event like this without some really valuable partnerships, and Murrindindi Shire Council is working very closely with Mitchell, Strathbogie and Mansfield Shires, and mayors and executive teams are working very closely hand in hand to support all of our communities throughout this time. Please recognise that we are currently still in a response period. There are dangers that are imminent and we need to be able to deal with those dangers. But I can assure you, you are not alone. Your council is working on accommodation, on food, water, animal welfare matters. And if it's not visible right yet, it's because the work is happening in the background and it's coming over the coming days. It's a particularly tough time for our staff who themselves are impacted, their families, their homes, their properties. Please be conscious of all of the efforts that everybody in our community is putting in. We have some relief centres available, and I really need to make sure that everybody's aware that there are relief centres available depending on where you are in the Shire, in Benalla, Mansfield, Lilydale, Whittlesea, and the designated Murrindindi Shire Relief Centre in Seymour, thanks to Mitchell Shire. There is financial assistance available, and being administered for the Department of Family Fairness and Housing is a personal hardship assistance program. You can call online. You can be engaged with that process at one of the relief centres, or you can call this telephone number, 1800 226 226, and immediate support will be provided. That's been provided by the Victorian Government. I also have to acknowledge the work of Dr. Helen Haynes, first one to call me when I was on the way to the fire scene on Wednesday evening in Longwood. I also need to acknowledge Cindy McLeish and the powerful work that she's been doing. Council's also been working very effectively with our Premier's office and with the Emergency Services Minister. And I really need to just extend my appreciation to those people who've been offering as much support as they possibly can. We have very much in a response mode, and it's a long road to recovery. There are impact assessments to follow, and then it's going to be a very long journey for our community, and we need to be prepared for a very, very extended, protracted recovery to this reinvention of Murrindindi, which has to happen from this day forward. Murrindindi Shire Council will continue to be your champion, advocating for our needs at the federal and state government level. And we will make sure that our community has resourced with what it needs to go through this response and then recovery period. Please recognise that there continue to be dangers. Now, I know so many people have followed the advice of emergency services, they've got out early, they've done the right thing, and they're with us today. There are still dangers, and so I need you to be patient in returning. We have trees going across roads, we have civil units going out and just keeping off the road for the sake of emergency services. Those trees are continuing to burn, continuing to fall. We have the roads on fire in certain parts of the Shire. So please, we want you to get home safely, but we need you to do it very safely, and we need to do it at the instruction of emergency services. We found out this afternoon, very tragically, that we've lost a Murrindindian. One loss is one life too many. We can't have any more losses, and we need to make sure that we are as diligent about safety and we follow the emergency service advice. Vic Emergency is the one source of truth for your emergency information, and I encourage you to engage with that website or app and make sure that you're right up to date with the latest emergency warnings and advice, and you heed those warnings, because people heeding those warnings to this point have got us this far. If you have any need for assistance, I encourage you to contact council. You can contact council on 5772 0333 by phone, or customer@murrindindi.vic.gov.au by email. Look, The response I've seen has filled my heart with pride. We have got through this together. It's the Murrindindi spirit that is going to continue to help us get through this response and then on to the reinvention of what is going to be a very, very different Murrindindi going forward. I thank you for your service. I thank you for the wonderful work that you've done. I thank you for continuing to work with one another, and we'll speak again shortly. Thank you.